everybody, we're here for a new episode of the show that has yet to be named. I'm here with Puttyman. I'm here with JD777, and we're talking Batman, the Batman. No spoilers. Quick little review here to get you going. So basically, the Putty looks like he wants to tell you what Batman's about.
Oh, wow, really? I'm the one that... Okay, so this is a early retelling of Batman. He's already been established, and basically this is just showing this is his second year as Batman and how him and Gordon work together and the villains he deals with, which I'm not sure if we should even mention I guess other villains. I mean, the villains have been mentioned in the thing, but either way, my point to the thing is basically it's a rundown of the early startings of Batman in a very, very realistic way too, and grounded in my eyes, believably. So there you go.
All right, so I mean, I generally just generals. I thought it was good. There's a lot of issues I have with it, which we'll get into as we progress down this line. But I mean, I feel like I really liked how they took it to. They added like a noir aspect. I like that there's a mystery. I like that it's not generally focused on Batman as much as it is like building the universe. That's probably my favorite aspect when I really thought about it, because we were having a lot of trouble last night on the way home.
Yeah.
Thinking about how did we really feel about this movie. But I think the strongest aspect of it was building this world to move forward with. I do think they bit off more than they could chew at a few points. They overuse, I won't say what I would call Easter eggs, but like hints at where they're going. They way overdid that.
A lot of drops.
And it kind of got to the point where it's like, I started noticing where I was telling JD that like some of these are clearly to make you think it's going to have like to throw you off. Like they added so many things just
red
to
herrings.
throw you off. Yeah, there's so many red herrings in this movie. But I think generally it's well done. Probably my least favorite thing about it is that as good as the mystery is, they hold your hand the whole time. They never let you think at all for yourself. You never get a chance to like, maybe it's this guy, maybe it's this guy. It's constantly like moving you on to the next thing. And I would have liked some breathing room where it forced me to think about, well, could it be this guy? Could it be this guy? Because I never felt that way.
Well, here's the thing. I knew what the approach was, and I do like the idea when it comes to like the murder mysteries or the, I'm forgetting the name of the murderer that did the same things as what the
Zodiac killer.
Yes, I actually mentioned my thing, but I couldn't think of the name right now. But like the Zodiac killer, they definitely held your hand to that, and I think that's because they wanted to appeal to a broader audience, not like make people think. Because that's what made the Zodiac movie so well, was because of the mystery. That's why I was expecting all this. I think the reason why I may have
with Mysterio and Iron Man.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Here's my thing. I actually thought you guys would like it more than I expected. The reason I liked it is I liked it was more grounded. That was more
but all the Batman movies are grounded except for like
what I like is this is still a Batman who's learning. He's still vulnerable at this point. So he's still learning what it is to be the Batman. So he's not there yet. And that's what I like the most about this film. It's a Batman who's still learning, who's still like, without spoilers, at the end, he figures out who he's supposed to be.
Well, see,
that's not a spoiler.
Yeah,
Continue, buddy.
No, but I'm saying without giving anything away.
That doesn't spoil it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But see, I don't want to get into certain points because it's going to go away. But there's still certain elements when you look back at like a Batman movies, there are definitely more things like, okay, like prime example, like his glider. You know what I mean? Those are things that you see and you go, it's a superhero. Well, we can, make our exceptions. What I loved about this is it took everything that you could see in the real world and tried to apply it as someone has money to get these things, but is it ain't gonna be able to?
Yeah, but they did that in Batman Begins and in Dark Knight as well.
In fairness, in an argument, just to prove that, like, I'm not just saying it because you're saying it. Ask JD. What was my first reaction to the thing yesterday? What did I say about the contact lens? I was like, how ridiculous is that?
That would be the only part.
But I was like, and they use it so much. And like, I get it. It's cool. But if you're going to pretend that we're in this super grounded universe, people don't have super razor thin contact lenses that can record what's happening. Right. And I agree. Like there's certain things that I loved about it. And he had a good point. He was like,
Yeah.
It's the bat belt. It's a throwback to the 1966 one
with the utility belt. But they were all practical items. It wasn't nonsense like the bat shark repellent. It was actual practical items that he needed.
I love that about it. And don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that my first reaction was like, why would this be the thing that you have? Like, he could have just gave her an earpiece and they could have told us what was happening. But like, a pair of glasses with recording with lenses. This is why I have that technology. This is what takes away for me from. I don't want to go into spoilers, obviously, right? But this is what takes away for me from the aspect of what could have made the movie really good and the little things that like held it back from being like a fantastic movie. I mean, it's a great movie. I'm not saying it's not good. But I mean, it had potential. I would rate this at the same, like, not score, but I would put this in a place like with Batman Begins, because it does a great job setting you up for what's coming, but it's probably not going to be the best movie of this franchise. Like, I feel like the next ones will be better.
I agree. I mean, again, Dark Knight still has the top mental, but I even like this more than The Dark Knight Rises. Like, I actually like this more.
I'm debatable on that because I just think Bane was such a presence, where Riddler was just kind of Joker from the movie Joker.
But Colin Farrell, I mean,
that's amazing.
He did Colin Farrell did a fantastic job.
I think we all agree on that. That's a three-way agreement that he was probably the best part of that whole movie.
Yeah.
Like when I saw it, I was like,
but Paul Dano too. Without spoilers, Paul Dano towards the end of the film, when he starts to lose it, he puts on a hell of a performance too.
I think the performances are great. Zoe Kravitz is fantastic. Pattinson's fantastic. Even Andy Serkis, we said. Fantastic.
Yeah, that would be the only one. Like, Andy Serkis is a good actor, but I feel like this is honestly, and don't take this wrong way, but honestly, out of all the Alfreds, he's actually the weak one, except for one point in the movie, which you know what part I'm talking about. But throughout the rest of the movie, I feel like he was the weakest Alfred. Honestly.
I think he was really good, but I think that they're saving him and his like real, if he gets any type of arc, for it's going to be coming up. Like this movie was just to like. Was introduce you to the character and show you the father-son relationship that him and Bruce actually really have.
Yeah, I agree. Where at the beginning, Bruce didn't say, he even said it. He goes, "You're not my father." Like he said it to Alfred.
You can see it as he develops,
and there's pain in his face. Yeah,
as he discovers about his past, because this movie is very mysterious. As he discovers about his past, you could see that he starts to realize that Alfred is the one who's always been there for me, and. It's kind of like, it's good. Like, I don't want to get spoilers. We're getting very close to giving away spoilers.
That's the problem,
but we'll talk about that in the spoiler thing.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to go into this. Pattinson, I didn't know how it was going to be going in. I love him. I will say, unless he grows into it, his Bruce Wayne is a different approach to it, which I do enjoy it. But I feel like the one thing he is missing, and maybe he gets later, is his charisma. You feel like he has it with Zoe Kravitz's character, but it feels more like it's only there because there's like tension. If that makes sense.
I kind of like it for this one thing. Batman is always known, and it's brought up in this movie as he's his real self when he's Batman, and that's why he's so charismatic as Batman. And then when he's Bruce Wayne, he doesn't like being Bruce Wayne. So he's like down. He's also like, I don't know how old they place him at. I would assume he's probably like 29 or 30 in this, 28.
I would say early 30s, yeah.
But like they make him look and feel very young when he's Bruce Wayne. And I feel like he's not used to this like business life. He's been a recluse this whole time, hiding away.
Yeah, he's been Batman for 2 years. Yeah, exactly. I'm a nocturnal creature. Yeah.
If you see early in Batman Begins, in the early on part, he's like that as well. Until when he comes back, all of a sudden he becomes like the savvy businessman that we know, and like the Playboy. Before that, he was just a mess, like a partying recluse that never wanted anything to do with anybody. And this Batman's very gothic.
The funeral scene. Yeah, it's the funeral scene as Bruce Wayne that it really shows what kind of a character this Bruce Wayne is going to be.
Yeah, which that trailer leaked, that scene is leaked on the internet. Well, it was released by Warner Brothers, so
that's all I'm going to say. But I'm saying it's that funeral scene that's the best. Like, you could see what direction they're going in with Bruce Wayne.
He's starting to realize what he wants to do. He realizes that as Bruce Wayne, he has an influence that he needs to use, and I see that. Okay, so before we end this, Putty, tell me your favorite aspect that doesn't have a spoiler and your least favorite aspect that doesn't have a spoiler.
Okay, favorite would geez, that's actually kind of hard. I don't know. Honestly, definitely would be just mainly the characters. Or I guess because I don't have like a particular point, but I like the way they handle Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman. Like, it was one of those things where there were certain scenes where the way she's going into it, and based on her lineage, I should say, I was really happy to see that, even though there is, when we get into the spoiler part, there's a lot of different story elements that we're seeing in this. Least favorite, honestly, I would say, just like you guys had said, some of the Easter eggs. It was more like especially towards the end. That's all I'm going to say. Like, there were some of those things where I'm like, you're pushing it in there. It felt like we got another Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad at one point. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know.
Yeah.
Why did you put that in there? And of course he uses it. Alex does something that I just wasn't happy about.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that in the next video, so the people who watch can go. JD, same thing.
For me, it's the storytelling and the arc of Bruce Wayne growing as a character and Batman growing as a character as two separate characters. They're still fresh. Bruce Wayne doesn't know what he wants to be yet. He doesn't know what kind of a person he's going to be. And Batman doesn't know what kind of a detective type vigilante he's going to be yet. So it's where the character growth and where they're going with this character is what I liked most about this film. And what I disliked the most was the fact that there's too many, like, I like a couple seeds planted here and there about where they're going in the future, but there were just too many of them, and it felt a little scattered as to where they're going to go for the next one. There's so many different seeds planted. You don't know which ones are real, which ones are fake, and you don't know what direction they're going to go in.
Okay, so
it feels like it has no direction.
Yeah, I agree with that. So for me, I would say I'm kind of torn between the fact that it's heavily the writing is very story based and in the mystery rather than action based, and I really like that. It's a complete turn on the superhero genre in general.
Detective Comics.
And then I would say it's a close tie between that and the way that Matt Reeves presents Batman as like a presence on screen. Like, when he's standing with the cops, they don't know what to make of him, but they're all hesitant that at any second he'll kill all of them, which is like, I like that there's like this, they see him and they know he's human, but there's also like this, like, he could take all of us. They're all scared of him. He could just take us all down if he wanted to. And I like that. It's a different take, kind of, I think, because most of it's always just solidly everyone's scared of Batman. We don't even know if he's human. And I think the worst part for me is there's a few things I didn't like, but probably the hand holding. Like, I felt, as a movie watcher, I felt let down that you thought I was too dumb to like watch this movie, kind of, and that it really, like, it bothered me. I know we talked about that yesterday. Yeah. It's like, if you watch the movies that it's similarly based on, like Seven or Zodiac, they don't give you anything until the end. In this movie, we already know who the killer is. So basically, all the evidence you're presenting me is just to find the next guy, but you keep telling me who the next guy is, so I never have to figure it out. And that kind of like bothered me a bit. But Putty, what would you rate it out of 10?
I actually was very happy with this. I ended up giving it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it.
That's a low rating for you.
Whatever.
JD, out of a dozen donuts.
Somewhere between a 9 and a 9.5.
Yeah, I haven't settled on a score yet, but I'm very willing to just say it's an 8. For the sake of just throwing a score out there, I might go a little bit higher. Like I said, I'm pretty neck and neck between this and Batman Begins. And if you're going for like recent, it's this and like No Way Home are like on a similar level to me. This was a better written story, I think, than Spider-Man, but like for Marvel, No Way Home had it had a lot going for it. Anyways, I think this movie's really
that one
good.
knocked it out of the park.
I recommend checking this out. It's 100% worth your time. There's no way, like the 3-hour runtime does not feel like 3 hours. It's totally worth it. And anyways, the spoiler episode will be up tomorrow night. So if you want to see the spoilers, check it out. And thank you for watching.